Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to Modern Warfare in Depth. In today's episode, we're going to be going over the October patch notes, which means spooky Halloween stuff. The first thing that you're going to be interested in right away is the brand new AA-12 shotgun called the JAK-12. It has returned from Modern Warfare 3, and it's unlocked by killing 3 people with shotgun hipfires across 7 different games. And it does appear that you can quit out of the games and reset them really quickly. You could probably unlock this very, very quickly. The two noteworthy things about this shotgun are that it can shoot explosive rounds, which is what you're looking at right now, and I was a little bit surprised that this was a thing, explosive rounds in a full auto weapon in Modern Warfare, but it's there and it's real and it absolutely does shred vehicles. And the other thing about it is that it is a truly no BS full auto shotgun that you can put ultra 32 round extended mags on, which I'm just going to kind of walk around and spray with a little bit here. But what I want you guys to see is just how long you can sustain fire at full auto with this weapon and just put punishment downstream. The attachment selections are pretty normal for shotguns, with the exception of the fact that it has all the good attachments and all the good ammo. So we have 20 round drum mags, 8 round slugs, 8 round dragon breaths, or 8 round frag, or 32 round mags. Clearly the best ammo attachments of any in Modern Warfare, and I guess we're just going to have to adapt to dealing with this in Warzone and multiplayer. But I'll tell you a little bit more about the frag rounds later, but they don't one-shot kill people, which is a little bit unusual. Barrels are kind of normal, except for the bottom one basically looks like the Archangel barrel from the Growl. It basically turns this weapon into a rifle in terms of recoil and, range boosting. We have the Forged Tac Marauder coming back and Monolithic Suppressor. Those are probably going to be the two that I'm going with more than anything. So you can buy the weapon immediately. There's a variant that already has the explosive rounds unlocked, or you can grind for it, which won't take that long. It's only 3 hipfire shotgun kills across 7 games, and I'm pretty sure you can quit out to get them. I'm killing regular bots, not even recruit bots here with them, and my opinion is that it's going to be a good gun. I don't think it's actually going to be a hyper fast killing weapon, but I think it's going to be a very effective sustained fire harassing murder shotgun. And what's kind of crazy about it to me more than anything else is that the slug rounds, if you'll notice, don't actually one-shot people. You seem to have to get 2-shot kills with the slug rounds, and not the slug rounds, I said slug, it's the explosive rounds. The explosive rounds don't one-shot kill people. You have to 2-tap with the explosive rounds, and even if you hit like that sort of like side of the building, side of the container, and hit them with the splash damage, it doesn't seem to really hurt them very much. And what I have a suspicion of is that this weapon is basically added to the game in order to allow you to shred vehicles in Warzone, much easier than the Barrett 50 cal or even FMJ on the other weapons. And there's also the possibility that Haunting and Verdansk, or whatever upcoming modes, are going to be a little bit more like Juggernaut heavy, that they're going to be a little bit more, what's the right word, needing sustained fire. So this might be introduced to the game just for the new Warzone modes that are coming up. There's some good news if you're playing on PC. You can reclaim some space on your computer by going to your Blizzard options, going down to game settings, and then once you're inside game settings, you want to click Modify Install, top right, Modify Install, and then you can select which parts of the game you want to have installed or not, just like console players. So by unchecking Campaign and Spec Ops, I just saved 72 gigabytes worth of free space on my computer, and that is an actual godsend for me. The next part of today's video is a little bit of old news, and the gameplay you've been seeing is one of the shotgun games where I'm playing Drop Zone on the new map Vacant. Well, it's a remake map, Vacant. But last week there was a patch that fixed the AS VAL SPP ammo infinite range hit scan penetration bug, so you can't wallbang through the whole map with that gun anymore. And it changed the distance at which the SPR sniper rifle is a hit scan to something much more reasonable. So basically both of these two weapons were fixed, which is a good thing, because I was complaining about that in my last video. I had a lot of colorful opinions about how broken it all was. Very glad that it got fixed. It actually got fixed the last week. I just didn't have time to make an update video. And the AS VAL and SPR both got kind of minor nerfs to their actual stats, like little recoil adjustments, tiny little things like that. But that's kind of old news. I think Ace did a whole video on that, so I'm not going to retread on what he's up to. The next thing I wanted to talk about is pretty fun, and you saw it on the thumbnail. That is the new Halloween skins. We have slasher skins just like the ones I talked about that I wanted on stream. We have the Saw skin with Billy the Doll, and then we have a Texas Chainsaw Massacre skin. You'll notice they have a Pain Train creepy murder truck, And I think these are really cool. If you would like to buy these skins whenever they do come out or any of this stuff, don't forget to use creator code Driftor. That's kind of like a Fortnite creator code for Call of Duty. Just putting that in the store in the bottom under support a creator helps me a ton. This one is the Leatherface skin called the Skin Crawler. He gets a chainsaw and he gets the axe or the sledgehammer from the first movie, along with a weird squealing noise for the vehicle. So I don't know when this comes out, but I think I'm probably going to buy these, especially for the Halloween mode. IW's prepping pretty hard for the Halloween mode by adding this spooky lobby kind of background here. I think this is what Haunting in Verdansk is going to look like, dark, foggy, and all that. But we basically have a Halloween loading screen for all of your game modes. Speaking of game modes, they changed up the playlist a little bit. We now have a Deathmatch, Domination, and Drop Zone playlist, which is what most of today's gameplay is from. There's Gun Game, TDM, Headquarters Firefight, and some changes to Ground War, and most of the playlist to kind of keep things fresh and fun. There are some stability improvements on PC that for the first time in a while actually did improve the stability on my PC, and not just deleting some of the file space, but kind of making it better. I got some additional frames out of this game, which is good. That's a thing I don't get to say too often. There were some very minor nerfs on some of the marksman rifles, or rebalances I should say. They increased the minimum damage range on the Kar 98, but only for Warzone, and they reduced the minimum damage range for the SPR 208 only for Warzone. So the SPR got a small nerf and the Kar 98 got a small buff. And what I'm suspecting is that for Warzone, which is impossible to test for, they're making these two weapons more comparable to each other, more similar to each other, because the SPR used to just dominate the Kar, but that may not be the case anymore. In your options menu, there's a pretty fun one. If you go to audio and scroll down to the bottom, now we have a War Tracks slider. You can turn the volume up and down and disable War Tracks as a passenger. War Tracks are the sounds that vehicles make, like the drivers buy the music packs. So you can turn these on and off or turn the sound up and down. So if you're a passenger in a vehicle, you just don't get blasted by these obnoxious noises. It kind of takes away your ability to troll your friends, but I think it makes the game experience much better and more playable. Outside of that, there was a whole giant list of other bug fixes and stability improvements and fixes for the Easter egg and little glitches here and there that overall improve the stability of the game and are a good thing. And overall, I think that this is a good patch. I'm a little bit scared that the AA-12 shotgun is going to be kind of strong, especially in Warzone with the explosive rounds, but I have a feeling that it's really designed for the Haunting in Verdansk mode. I'm glad that the VAL got fixed. I'm glad that the SPR got fixed. The Halloween skins are awesome in my opinion. The game modes are good in my opinion. Stability's up on PC. And I think overall this is a really nice positive patch that puts Modern Warfare and Warzone back closer to where it's supposed to be. And guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. And as one more thing that I want to throw in here at the end, if you've watched this far, if you're a hardcore dedicated fan of me, please go register to vote. Voting registration ends in about a week in most states. And for the amount of time that you spent here watching this video, learning anything about gun stats or patch notes or whatever, you already could have registered to vote and possibly even voted, depending on the state you're in. It's just that quick. You are one YouTube video away from voting and participating in our very important upcoming election. So gamers, young people out there, please register to vote. Please participate in our democracy. Guys, that's all for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.